Welcome to the Social Living Podcast. I'm your host, Julian Green. Jam, how you doing?
Good, man. Well rested. Been on annual leave the last 2 days, so yeah, I'm chilling.
That's
Needed.
good.
It's been
That's
needed.
good. So you're saying this is the first week where you've said, you know what, this week it's been chill.
Yeah, I say that, but tomorrow I'm in London. We've got a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, with one of our brand ambassadors tomorrow and Friday. So yeah, this is like the calm before the storm, I think.
Yeah. I hear that. Well, good luck with
How
that.
have you been? How's the week been?
It's been good, productive. I feel like I think I've officially started the year this week.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how it feels. I got a little bit of I did exercises into my routine basically. That's it. Everyone started 1st of Jan. I couldn't quite make that happen. 1st of Feb. Well, basically it was January 31st. And I've just I've added it in. So I haven't
What have
missed
you
a
started
day.
doing?
I got a PT, man. I got a PT.
Okay. Sometimes you need that. There's someone to keep you accountable.
Yeah. So yeah, got a PT. Big up my PT. And yeah, man, gym every morning. So far anyway. So yeah, it's been good.
Nice.
It's been real good. I've been doing a nice little exchange of services, so I don't have to pay him. And I help advertise his services. So it's a nice little exchange there. So yeah, man, it's good. And outside of that, man, everything's good, man. Family's well, just I don't even know, there's nothing more to say really. Work's going all right. Just pushing on all fronts really. And then yeah, looking forward to this weekend as well. A little time out with the fam as well. So looking forward to that. So yeah, man, it's good, man. It's
Nice.
good. Also, this week what happened was transfer deadline day, should I say? Transfer deadline day, January 31st. This time last week we were talking about Arsenal. We were talking about Vlahovic. Are you surprised with what's happened so far?
I don't think you can be an Arsenal fan and be surprised by this. This is the normal. This we've been dealing with this for the last 15 years. That you kind of learn not to get your hopes up and take everything with a pinch of salt. And it's proved to be the point this year, this Jan. Linked with Vlahovic, we've ended up losing our best striker.
Yeah,
and we've got Lacazette and Nketiah. So yeah.
But
It's memeable. We're just a walking meme, I'm sure.
You know what? Definitely to other clubs, and I understand that. I'm trying to take a positive attitude towards it. I understand most Arsenal fans or the fan base overall, they're gonna be like, what are we doing? We got like I heard it's like 18 outfield players or something like that. Which that doesn't worry me. I think what worries me is like, okay, yeah, we got two strikers that don't really score a lot of goals. It's a weird one because you could say Aubameyang's kind of put us in a situation, or you could say Arteta's put us in that situation. Truth be told, we don't know. Aubameyang has gone. Aubameyang hasn't been scoring for us this season. So whether he stayed, would it have changed things? No. I feel like I'm happy that he's going to be happy. Do you know what I mean?
I think he deserves that for what he's done to the club over the last 4 years. I've seen the stats as he was leaving, and they're world-class stats. I saw Gary Neville comparing him to the famous strikers within the Premier League, and he's up there in terms of numbers and goals per minutes and stuff, and those type of stats there. So you've got to give him his flowers. I know it's not ended well, but he's been a great servant to the club, and you can't knock him really. Without him, we wouldn't have the highs we've had over the last 4 years.
Exactly. He's definitely a shining light over what's been happening over the last couple of years. To come in on the back of like selling someone like Alexis Sanchez, who to me was a genius when he was at Arsenal, and he stepped in and he did what he needed to do, and to all accounts, like I guess sometimes we might have felt like we wanted more from him, and we didn't get it, but he gave everything, and especially during the times where nothing else was happening for us. He scored the goals. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, big shout out to Aubameyang. I think it's a crazy situation in terms of like us signing him up to like a big boy contract, and then at the end to like kind of like terminate it. I think that's crazy. Like, but then again, it's very Arsenal for them to leave or sell, sorry, their best player for nothing. You know,
Yeah, it's good.
we've seen it.
History shows that we've been doing that. Our best players have gone for free, or if not nothing, over the last 10, 15 years. And you think we'd learn from? I guess that's why we gave him a long contract as that kind of safety net, and it's just not worked out. Like I guess they couldn't predict the falling out with the manager and stuff like that. They were doing the right thing, giving him a longer contract considering the form he was on. It's just it's not paid off.
Yeah, from what I like about the situation, which I think is a positive, is that we got a manager that's kind of being backed. So it's his decision, and he's being backed. So it's like, okay, cool. So like literally, this manager is gonna get the support, and hopefully it delivers, because we've seen it in the past where the manager doesn't really get the support and it doesn't quite work out. So you know, there are certain changes that they're probably not too obvious, but you'll probably see towards the end of the season. So yeah, Arsenal's got it all to play for. It was a weird one, obviously, with all these exits. So many people left.
So many people left.
But you know what? That can definitely change the culture.
No, for sure.
And these are certain things that maybe Arsenal fans can hold on to. They don't want to, I know that. You know, your Don Robbies, your AFTVs, they don't want to hold on to like those little bits of hope sometimes, especially when you've been let down time and time after again. But it's kind of being an Arsenal fan, isn't it? So yeah, big up the Arsenal squad right now. I'm praying for you to get top 4.
So yeah,
and if they do get top 4, I'm gonna be happy. Like, I'm gonna celebrate that like a trophy, although I shouldn't, because it should be a minimum. But for what we've gone through, I would love to watch Arsenal play on a Tuesday and a Wednesday night again.
It's been so long. It's been way too long. I actually do not remember the last time I watched Arsenal play a Champions League game.
Yeah, me either. I couldn't tell you.
We probably had Squillaci at the back, and that says a lot.
There you go. So yeah, I can't wait for that one. But on top of that as well, there's been other signings, man. Dele Alli gone to Everton. Newcastle spending £91 million.
Newcastle, being a Newcastle fan must have been eventful as well, because they were linked with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody under the moon.
Yeah.
And they've made a few decent signings, to be fair. Like Bruno, I don't know how you pronounce his last name.
Ramirez,
yeah. It looks like a good player. We were linked with him as well. But yeah, we want to look out for, just to see how they perform and how Eddie Howe gets on playing with his new squad.
Yeah, it'd be good. I think that adds the pressure onto Eddie Howe. If they get relegated, he's done, isn't he? So I guess he's got to keep him up. He keeps his job. He's got the preseason. They might make more signings. Then the pressure's up until December, and you just, as if you're a top manager, you got to perform under that kind of pressure. So he's got that time now. So there's that. Adama Traore went to Barcelona. That one's a bit of a mad one. Because like I felt like his numbers are terrible this season.
His numbers are bad. Yeah, it goes to like 1 goal, maybe 2 goals this season.
I feel like 2 assists. Like, it's ridiculous. But he got his move to Barcelona back home, and then they were playing all these old videos of him, and I was like, "Yo, how did he become light skinned?"
Yeah, he was darker. It might be in the sun, the Spanish sun.
You know what? That we could save that discussion for another topic, like another episode, because he definitely went a couple shades lighter. Don't know how. We can say it's the sun for now. Leave it at that. But it'll be interesting to see Barca. Like, I would love to play with Barca on FIFA 2022. Aubameyang, Torres, Depay, yeah,
Mm.
like all those players it'll be lit. So yeah, man, it's been an interesting window, and yeah, Newcastle are definitely one of the shining lights there. Um, so yeah, man, and well, one player we definitely, well, one player that has signed for a new team, should I say, is Mason Greenwood, man. Welcome to Prison FC. So he's been like one of the number one topics on social media this past week.
Mm.
Was it Sunday morning, Saturday night?
Maybe yeah, Sunday morning.
Yeah, like Twitter crazy, Instagram crazy, TikTok crazy. So for those who don't know, Mason Greenwood is a young, promising footballer that plays for Man United, and his missus or girlfriend goes by the name of Harriet Robson. She posted on her Instagram a few pictures of herself where she's been bruised, and a voice note, I believe, of like her. I don't know how to put it. It's like a confrontation between her and Mason Greenwood, which doesn't put Greenwood at all in a good light. And that just went viral like crazy. And there are timestamps on the recording, so it looked like it was back in the last year, October. So I guess it's a while ago, a couple of months ago. And yeah, so this is where I guess uh the council culture kind of came in.
Mm.
The police were definitely informed. My United have come out and said, look, he's suspended for the club for the time being, for the foreseeable future. He's been arrested. Yeah, there's multiple stories. I heard he got arrested twice. He's on bail. Like, it's really not sure what's happening there.
Mm.
I've also heard the club knew about it. They knew it could come out at any time. But they waited until something. They waited until it come out before they actually put out a statement.
What do you think of that? What do you think about that stance from the club?
I get it. I can understand, because you're gonna protect your player until you can't, if you get what I mean. Like, you're gonna protect what you have until it like gets too far. Like, you can't. There's no coming back from what has just come out in it. So
Mm.
they have to separate from there. But I don't know if I don't want to say you have to, but it's gonna look bad if you're associated. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I get it, because if there was no social media, everything would be under wraps, and you all sort it out in the best way that you know how. And if he go to prison, or he was on tag or something, like everything was would be kind of kept under wraps. Not everyone's gonna have an opinion, and it's not gonna be number one trending topic, because it's it's private. It's a very private matter. Like, we don't need to know about this, really.
Mm.
But it's
I
a
kind
shame.
of think, United. If United did know about it, I kind of think we're at a place now where I feel like they maybe not voice it, but bring it to a conclusion. Maybe not play him dropping from the team until it was sorted behind the scenes. Because I think men at the moment in culture. I've been around football teams, and I feel like that male egotistic culture isn't great for women, and it's not great for men either. But for women
Yeah,
in particular, that they're not dealt with in a good light. And I think there's examples to be shown at that level that like this isn't tolerated. Because I was listening to the audio and I was like, raw,
that's mad, isn't
this
it?
is mad. Like, this is crazy that first of all she's had to deal with this,
Mm.
and it's taken her to release this publicly to get anything from it. But yeah, I feel like we do have to kind of hold ourselves accountable as men to deal with situations like this better. Like, I know I've been on night outs and I've seen guys act a certain way and stuff like that. And I think it's got to the point now where we kind of have to pull it up and make it an issue, because like these things can't be happening. Honestly, I was listening to that audio Sunday morning. It triggered me. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it was awful to hear.
yeah. No, nobody wants to hear that as well.
Mm.
I thought It's a difficult one because I know we want to bring awareness to it, and then you want to like make those people kind of get some kind of, I don't know, they need to feel some kind of justice. There needs to be like a justice system in place because they do it, they feel like they can get away with it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
And that what we heard on the Sunday, that could have happened on a weekly basis, monthly
mm,
basis. Like we don't even know. And the fact that it has happened, it doesn't remove that this could have happened multiple times. So it's how do we stop it? My own concern is the same with like the racism thing. It's there's got to be a way to do it where we're not just making it happen, I guess, behind closed doors.
mm,
Because we've seen so many footballers kind of get charged with rape. Uh Cristiano, but not get charged, but I guess get associated with rape. Where it's like Cristiano Ronaldo, there's Mendy at the moment. Prison FC is looking crazy.
mm,
Like, but I guess like Cristiano Ronaldo's, but he has the money to be able to pay someone off and nothing can be heard. Mason Greenwood might not have that. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
And there's a problem that there might be people that will accept that and there'll be no justice. So it's a very, I don't know, like I don't specialize in this, so I don't know what the
mm,
right way to go about it is, but I can understand Man United's decision to, okay, look, this is not out there yet, so they might have removed him from training sessions. There was a time where he wasn't getting picked, and
mm,
and I know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was under pressure in his job, and it's like why he's not getting picked or whatever, and there were times where these things were happening, but we don't know what's going on. We don't have the full picture. So it's
mm,
hard to make the best judgment. Because I can understand it. Like when you have an issue inside your own house, you don't want it to leave your house. You have to solve it in your own house. And then if you can't solve it in your own house, then it goes kind of outside. You might need a third party or whatever. But until until that point, you want to solve it inside.
mm,
So we're gonna do that, and I understand that. Not everybody's business needs to be out there. Do you see what I'm saying? But we
mm,
still need to find justice for these actions. Do you see what I'm
mm.
saying? So yeah,
Yeah, I guess the issue is like you said, you don't know what's happened behind the scenes and where any investigations may have come from the club. I would like to hope that they've kind of looked into the situation once they were aware of it and acted on that accordingly in terms of dropping a player and suspending the player or whatever that might be. But I just think like it's got to a stage now that we kind of need to act on these things when it arises rather than waiting for the girl to publicly
yeah.
voice it, like get there before. So she's not kind of isolated and all eyes are on her. Like imagine like her Sunday morning must have been chaos. Whereas
Mm,
if that was officially done by the club, maybe like
yeah.
announced that it might have been a different situation for her. It might be more comfortable for her
Mm,
because yeah, I'm just thinking about her positioning and that yeah, that couldn't have been a nice position. It must have felt like breaking point for her, and she just had to release it, and then she had to deal with the aftermath of it all, which would have been equally as
mm.
traumatic to deal with.
Yeah, it's hard because like when you try and look at it from both sides, like I'm almost like kind of happy that the girl she's paid this card. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Because now you're gonna get a bigger wave of, is it justice? Like there's gonna be, like there's gonna be more action now. Do you know what I mean? Towards Macy Greenwood, but where she might have been trying to sort this out behind the scenes, but nothing's happening. He's mocking it. He's still continuing with his behavior or whatever, and she's played this card because she knows the majority is not gonna know this ain't right. Do you know
mm,
what I mean? So now he has to face a different issue, and um, I think it's like it's almost like this needed to happen. Do you know what I mean? And
mm,
same with like Benjamin Mendy. Like the stories that I heard today, he got another new case.
Apparently, there's like 9 girls have come forward.
That's too many.
Mm.
One is too many.
Mm.
It's like there's an issue here, and I've heard stories of, I don't know what's true or not, what's not true, but you hear stories of like him, being on house arrest, but still he's not allowed to go out because of the situation. But then he's still inviting girls over to the house or prostitutes, and it's like, come on, like there's a problem here. You know what I mean? So yeah, like these people do need to kind of be faced with justice, because you're not invincible. You might feel you're on top of the world, you got a ton of money, but you still know right from wrong, and you're not above the law, like by any means. So yeah, something needs to happen for them. Like, what would you say? Like, do you reckon the likes of Benjamin Mendy, Mason Greenwood, do you think that they should be cancelled forever?
I think this is a cancelable forever kind of moment. Like they're abusing their power almost. They, like you said, they do feel untouchable.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone will touch them after this. Like whether they get sentenced.
Yeah.
Well, they probably will get sentenced, but then after that sentence finishes, no brand will touch them. No publication, no radio station, no media outlets will touch them because of this reputation. I kind of think rightly so, because like they've abused their power, and I don't think there's any coming back from that, really.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, because now let's say they do their time, they've done their justice, they've been punished. Are they not allowed a second chance? Then is there no rehabilitation process? Is there no way to put these guys back into society? Like, obviously we know they have talent. Is it bad for a team to give them a second chance at life, but give them a second chance to do it the right way? This is me being devil's advocate. I'm not like saying like, oh, these guys, just made a mistake and that's it or whatever. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, there's a justice system that's in place. So if you do something wrong, this is your time that you serve, and then after your time, you're free to go. But then it's like you're always tainted with that crime.
These are like, there's a valid point, and like you said, we in this country, like, we serve justice. We serve, people do their time to rehabilitate, to rehabilitate, and yeah, what happens after that? And I think, yeah, we do need to somehow get them back into society, but then I don't necessarily think that is on the same level they're at the moment. Like, it won't be. I doubt they'll be playing football in the Premier League again. Or it might be a lower league team. I doubt they'll be on the major broadcasting outlets. So it might be an alternative. But I think, yeah, you're right in saying that we need to rehabilitate them and find a route for them. I just don't think we should give them the same stature that they had before these allegations.
So like, would you be open to, like, okay, let's say Greenwood, he goes down a league or two, and he's just focusing on his football, but his talent is second by none. Let's say he, gets player of the season, top goal scorer. He can fight his way back to the Premier League. Should the Premier League still not look at him because of what he's done in his past?
I think it's in my head, I'm thinking from like a brand point of view and a business point of view, and a PR that comes with it. And I don't know if the clubs will touch them, these players. I don't know if they want that kind of PR attached to the club, because it's stuff like that will stick with the club, that they've had a convicted rapist on their team, and stuff like that kind of tarnishes the club's values and morals and all of that jazz as well. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I have the right answer. I don't even have an answer.
No, it's not easy, because this obviously is a societal issue. Like, this isn't just like football. This is something that we see in life. Like, people make mistakes. They make mistakes really early. I saw a video the other day. I think it was on YouTube, and this guy, no, I think it was Instagram actually. This guy said committed 2 homicides at 14, and he got given 50 years in jail. And I think he was like 40 now, and it's like he was bullied into kind of like committing 2 homicides, but this is at 14. That's just affected his whole life. Do you know what I mean? Like he's clearly, you know, kind of, what's the word? He shows remorse. He's what's the word? He's like repenting for the mistakes that he's made, and it's probably clear he's not going to do that again. He's grown up. He's now a man, but he's still got to serve the rest of his time, you know, until he's like 60. You know, for something he done like 14. It's like, ooh, is that the right way of justice? I don't know. Like I don't know, because it's like, obviously people repent at different ages. They become more remorseful in different ages. And some people don't show any remorse, and you can see those people clearly. And I just feel like there might be a better way to kind of reintegrate that person back into society, whether it's therapy, whether it's support, whether it's like a controlled environment, to something, and not just like behind bars. That's it, they're done. And then, because that in itself will damage that person even more. Some people might say they deserve that damage, maybe, like because of the damage that they've caused. But if we're going off the justice system, you serve the time and then it's like, that's it, you're meant to be back free again. So I don't know, man.
I don't know, like he said, like it's ethics and morals and everything in between. Like I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the solution is, and you can look on it from both sides. Like for that example, he's served a long sentence so far. He will be going back into the public at some point. What's the best way of doing that for him, making sure that he can comfortably fit back in to how society is now? But then you also look on the other side, and he's taken lives at a young age, and I guess I can only imagine that the lives he took were of young teenagers, young kids as well. And how do you look at that? How would their families feel about the sentence, and if he was let out early and stuff like that? Like, again, I don't know what the solution is. It's such a touchy subject, and it'd be interesting to speak to the family members of the kids,
the victims.
Yeah, and see what their thoughts are.
Yeah, I heard, even like with this case specifically with Mason Greenwood, I heard the dad has come out and said some things as well.
His dad, Mason's dad, or
no, sorry, Harriet Robson's dad, the girlfriend's dad. But he did say some. I heard he did say some good words about Mason Greenwood. So
really,
yeah. So it's a difficult one, man. Very difficult. Well, I guess like now we're on the subject, innit, of cancel culture and everything. We'll kind of leave it to the audience to kind of make their assumptions about the Mason Greenwood situation. It is very sensitive, and I think that everyone in the situation at the moment is trying to do their best to kind of make sure that, I guess, the right repercussions are given. Because right now it doesn't look good, but I know that we don't have the full picture. But we will make a long-term decision based off this picture that we have, and we're just going to be like, yeah, Mason Greenwood's cancelled. That's it, him done. And I guess once he comes out, if he comes out of prison or if he goes to prison, who knows what's going to happen. Like, we're just like, we're going to be ridiculing every single football team that tries to touch him. Like, so he's done within the sport. So it's like we expect him to do another career or something. So don't know what that's going to be, but yeah. But so back to cancel culture, like, what does cancel culture mean to you, man? Like, over the past like couple years, especially with the growth of social media, TikTok, Instagram. I feel like social media has almost birthed cancel culture. Like it hasn't been anything else, just social media birthing this. What's your take on it? Like, are you for it? Are you against it? Is it very case by case?
I think you nailed it there. Like, I think it's case by case. I think it's kind of stemmed from people saying things against the grain or going against the grain in some sort of way, and that sparking a reaction from a certain group of people
Yeah,
that kind of want their voice muted, I guess, or repercussions that come from it. And it works. I think it works when the case is, like you said, it's a case by case basis with the likes of R. Kelly, for example, and how that was brought to life and how he was cancelled. That was needed. The same
Did you
way
actually
with,
cancel him? Did you actually cancel him?
you
Let's
know
go
what?
into it.
I don't listen to his music now. I don't have it on any playlist. So, but
Okay,
it took me
cool.
a while to get to that stage. I'm not gonna lie. I did watch a documentary and I still had him on my playlist. He was still on my throwbacks playlist. But as I've gotten older, I like understand what me removing him from my playlist does in terms of not backing someone from that has done what he's done. So I get that. But when I was younger, I just I separated the music from the man, whereas it's the same thing almost. But
Interesting.
what about you? Do you still listen to him? Are you?
You know what? Like, I'm almost indifferent a little bit. Hopefully, that doesn't get me cancelled. But, like, there are like to me, obviously R. Kelly was a musical genius. Same with my likes of Michael Jackson, and there's some songs I'm like, okay, this like I Believe I Can Fly. That's motivational. I feel like there's nothing in there that it takes me back to that negative place of what he's done wrong. But then there's certain songs, especially his explicit songs, makes me feel uncomfortable. So I'm like, okay, I won't play like if it comes on like in some playlists, I know that there's certain playlists that we have and it might be in there. I might remove it because I'm like, the title is it seems like you're ready. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna not yeah, that one no. But I Believe I Can Fly. That's not it. That's a different energy. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, even the age ain't nothing but a number one. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how he got away with this.
Age ain't nothing but a number. Like there's all these different things, and you're like, okay, cool now. And even that makes it harder for me to listen to like Aaliyah and stuff. Like it's difficult. I'm indifferent because I'm not saying there's everything banned. But I know I don't have the full picture. But people are like people's lives have really been affected by this. And then obviously he's serving time or whatever. I believe he's serving time. So it's like, okay, cool, he's serving time. And there's gonna be a point where he comes out. He's made so much money off music. Like he's ingested it into the world. Like how many gazillion CDs has he sold? How many millions of streams? Happy people. Happy people. That's played at almost every wedding. There's probably in people's wedding videos. Like, like, and it's like there's a certain songs where you're like, okay, that's that energy. This is that energy. Like, do I just keep beating him with the same stick? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Again, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I don't actually listen to R. Kelly like that. Like it's just like like when it comes on, like I'm not here
Nah,
like banging out
good
his
points,
albums.
yeah, these are good and valid points because, like I said, they have got different vibes and different energies. But I think it's got to the stage where I can't remove the man from the music. Like I just see it as one entity almost, and kind of remove that out of my area. Like if it comes on the radio, I've got no control over that, but it's not something I go out to
So
play anymore.
I guess my question to you is that fair then? So
Fair on R. Kelly.
yeah, like just Yeah. So like if you've done wrong, or does it really depend on what you've done wrong? So like let's say you stole something from a shop when you were 10 years old. You're labeled a thief now. Okay. Should you be labeled a thief the rest of your life? You
No,
never
like
stole again.
I think, like you said, it's a case by case basis. Like, if depends on the how bad the situation is, or how bad what you've done is. Like, I don't. Yeah, for example, the thief situation, I don't think that kind of sticks with you as you grow up, depending on
Yeah.
what you stole, and I guess
Yeah.
the neighborhood you live in, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with what R. Kelly has done, I feel like that level of abuse it will stick with him, and I think rightly so, because of the amount of pain he's caused for these women, and the treatment he's just given to families and stuff like that. It's just like, it was mad to hear watching a documentary probably like 2-3 years ago now, and it's just crazy to kind of be aware that one guy can be that controlling over these women and force them to do these things, and it's all a bit mad. It's all a bit mad.
You know what is like? I almost think there's rules to this cancellation thing, because we'll put down R. Kelly, right? And he's gonna take the burden for all of this right now. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm not his lawyer. Like I don't want to be associated with R. Kelly, but I'm just trying to offer both sides, innit? But what about people who knew, like celebrities that probably knew during this time, people that made songs together, people that did nothing? Are they like culpable for like this situation as well?
I think so. Yeah, I'm with that now. Like, I think if you're aware of it, it's a bit like the racism thing, and having I guess an ally within that. Like, if you know something is wrong, we now have to pull it up. Like, we can't just throw these things under the carpet and keep like promoting these people. Like, if we know if they got to this place because of wrongdoings, like it needs to be dragged. And I see the strength in cancel culture for that. Like, how R. Kelly was able to get away with that for what, 50 years? Well, not, yeah, 25 years in terms of his music career. Is mad, because like you said, people would have known about this. People would have known Elia's age, and then the other girls and stuff like that. So the people around him, I think, are to blame and should be accountable that they kind of let these things happen. Like, and I think you got to separate yourself from the bag or whatever you might tie you into him, or the songs or the charts. He might have the chart position he might have helped you get. Like, I think you've got to narrow it down to your own morals and I guess what you stand for. And if you believe that something isn't right, I don't think you can back it.
Yeah, I get that, but then there's so many different morals and ethics out there, like, and it's very, what's it called, like, community based, right? Like, different communities will have different morals. I could go to Southeast Asia right now, do something, and it's deemed rude, and yeah, it might be deemed rude, but I don't understand that. So I'm just saying, I guess my point is just that everyone has different morals and they're going to act on different morals. But I can't go to Southeast Asia and say that's wrong. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's where I'm like, okay, cool. Where does it stop? Because obviously the R. Kelly situation, definitely case by case, we can say, okay, yeah, that's wrong. We're in agreement with that. And then, but then there's other things like where, the Dave Chappelle situation, and then they're trying to cancel him. They're trying to cancel Kevin Hart. Even Whoopi Goldberg the other day talking about the Holocaust wasn't about race, and they want to cancel her, and she has to put out a statement and say sorry about maybe just like her own opinion on the situation. And it's like, we're going. This is like, is this becoming wrong? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Like you said, it's a case by case basis, and I think, like I said earlier about people saying things against the grain that are their own opinions. I think that's where the lines get blurred a bit, because that's where conversations can be had, and if you feel like what the person said, they were in the wrong, find a way to educate them maybe, rather than cancel them completely. Because I don't think there's no education process within that. There's no learnings. And I think that's like you said about going to jail really, and rehabilitating someone. You need to kind of go through that process of showing someone a different light if you feel that is the right thing to do. But there's we're in a weird time, because there's also situations where I think, okay, it's a bit sensitive. Like we're getting a bit sensitive now. Like people should be able to voice their opinions if they're different. Otherwise, we don't have freedom of speech. People don't get educated. You don't get variety and thought process. Like everyone will just end up thinking the same. So there is that side of it as well. But I guess, like you said, it's just I think if you just keep it as a case by case basis, but then there's always going to be someone out there that gets offended, and some group of people that will try and drag an individual down because of it.
Yeah,
but I think that's just where we're at with social media. I think it comes with the territory a bit. If you are on that level, you just you kind of know if you say something that is against the grain, you're gonna get dragged for it. So you better have an explanation or I guess ammo in case these people come at you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you gotta have your statement ready for whatever. If you're accepting of these people, like you, because I'm very much the type of person who believes that you, depending on where you are in life, what type of person you are, you don't have to accept certain things, and if you're like in the limelight, because it's like almost like a lot of your livelihood and your income or stuff is based on other people's opinion of you. You're in the light. You could be like an actor and stuff like that, and if you get cancelled that way, like you could ruin a legacy of yours. You know what I mean? And I feel like in those cases, yeah, just write your statement and get back to work. But if you have a different life setup, there could be a way where you can just stand by your guns and just like, guys, you're being silly. This is silly. Like, do you know what I mean? Like what's it called? What Kanye West put out today about NFTs, and it's like, I like that because it's against the grain. It's his thought process. People might cancel him because everyone's saying NFTs. We need to do it again. We need to do an updated NFT episode as well, because where it's got to now, I feel like, yeah, a lot more information needs to be put out there because it's blown up even more.
I've seen people just buy things left, right, and center just because it's an NFT now, and it's you've got massive artists promoting it now, and politicians, and
to me, it's scammy. It's scammy as hell now. You're seeing like John Terry talking about NFTs, like, like this is ridiculous. And a key point was in our episode that we spoke about NFTs. I can't remember the episode off the top of my head, but you can look at it through the archive, where I said the social responsibility of celebrities. And I said, I like the way Gary Vee did it, because he didn't just go and say, look, these NFTs are the ones I'm buying. And then it creates this hype. And we've like, others haven't done that. And this is literally what's happened now. It's like, it's stupid. People are literally just painting whatever and uploading whatever, and everything's done by code, and they're not even generating stuff, and it's just like, wow. So yeah, I think maybe the next episode we might touch on that and do a little NFT 2.0. So yeah, man, we'll definitely touch on that. On NFTs quickly as well, kind of switching into the metaverse, like obviously cancel culture is on social media, it's birthed it and everything. But through the next couple of years, well, next decade, should I say, we're going to see this transition into the metaverse. I wonder, is this same cancel culture going to carry over into the metaverse? I wonder, only because, let's say R. Kelly, right? What he tried to do in real life is wrong. If he does the same thing in the digital world, is it still wrong?
I think that's where Facebook will have an issue in how they police the metaverse. and what is acceptable and what is not. Like I still don't think that will be acceptable if it is digitally, in terms of maybe grooming someone or whatever that might be. And that's what Facebook and all these big tech
different
companies.
ages.
Yeah.
You got like a 10-year-old and a 45-year-old, but they're not.
Mm.
They're never ever gonna meet. They're never ever gonna. Actually, that's never gonna actually happen. It's just digitally.
Mm. But it depends what they're doing. Like if they are grooming someone, I don't know what it might be for. But if a guy that's older was, no matter what age they were grooming another character, for example, into getting them to do certain things within the metaverse, I still think that still needs to be policed in some way. Otherwise, it's just free game almost. People living out their real world fantasies within the digital universe and being able to get away with it. Like it's all mad. It could get messy, honestly. It could get messy, and I think that's where I think it sounds sick. Like the metaverse sounds sick, but where Facebook will have to make sure they double down in is their policies and how they police it, because they've got stick for it in the past on Facebook and Instagram, and I feel like they'll only get more heat within the metaverse because of the maybe exposure it gives to each individual.
Yeah. So that's I you know what, it came to my head in it, and I just thought like, well, people are just going to be getting away with things in the metaverse like easy. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, what's a crime in the metaverse? Like, what is a crime in the metaverse? Like, we just talk about two characters grooming, and it's like, well, is that a crime? It takes me back to the episode of Black Mirror where the guy. Have you seen the episode, like the latest season? The street fight.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah,
I'm
again,
like,
I just went left. I was watching it thinking, oh yeah, this is actually quite cool. Yeah, yeah. And then I thought, I was watching the end, I was like, how did it get here? How did it get here? And that's without saying spoilers either. But if you haven't watched it, definitely check it out because it takes that turn, boy.
but is that cheating? Is that not cheating? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. Again, watch the latest season of Black Mirror. We're talking about the street fight episode. I don't know what it's called, but it's like I guess a more enhanced way of gaming, which kind of triggers senses. But for me, I don't know like how you can police something like that. I don't know where that goes. Does cancel culture come into there? Does that solve an issue? Because, let's say there are, people who have problems, right? But they now can do that digitally without actually is it like not harming someone? Do you know what I mean?
And then I guess it gets into the mental aspect, and it can be mentally damaging if the same habits or traits or behaviors of travel into the digital world. I guess it's still that mental harm it can cause, even if it's not physical. But again, it's just, I don't know how they police that.
So then we're like, it's almost free game in this metaverse things, like, and where it's so early on, it's gonna be free game. It's gonna be free game. Like, where are we gonna go with it? Is cancel culture still gonna be there? Like, you're just gonna delete players. You can delete, and then recreate, delete, recreate. Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? This kind of leads me, to be honest, into the hot seat question.
It's gonna be a good one. I can feel it. The hope of this episode, I can feel this one.
So I don't know. Well, I hope you don't overhype it. So, would you rather live in a world where there's no crime or there's no privacy?
I think, me being an introvert, I think I'd take the crime and have privacy. I think I think that's still kind of the world I put myself in, almost. Like crime, I'm aware that crime happens.
Yeah.
it's out of my control, but I choose to keep things private. I guess that kind of answers it.
So then, to me, this hot seat question is great because it kind of coincides with like the cancel culture. So it's like people are not allowed to say certain things, do certain things. So essentially, you basically want people to not do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're gone. But that means that could also lead to like there being no privacy. Do you know what I mean? Because there's certain crimes that happen, and it's like it's literally none of my business. Literally, like there's things like jury service. It's your business when it's like it's your time for it to be your business. Outside of that, it's not your business. You know what I mean? Offer it. I shouldn't actually have to consume that energy until it's that I really have to. And the fact I'd be talking about Greenwood every day, Aubameyang every day, this is distracting me from maybe my own purpose in life. If you believe there's a purpose in life, or just other things that might be important. So I don't believe in that one. But yeah, like I definitely want that. I rather privacy. I think privacy is really important. So I'm happy for there to be crime. I feel like I couldn't even imagine a world with no crime. I reckon I'd be
boring.
unhappy.
Yeah, I think a world without crime. I feel like it's just like you said, it's errors or error of judgment. I don't know how to put this, but if things would just seem too nice, too fluffy, it'd just be like a world of marketing, really, just full of fluff.
I mean, again, we've seen that in episodes of Black Mirror. Again, I'm always going to reference Black Mirror, especially when it comes to like things in the future, predicting things in the future, because we've seen it where it's like, okay, cool, you're trying to promote this world that nobody can do anything wrong, so everyone's like faking everything, like there's no privacy, so you just have to always constantly act like everything's like, you know, good. And it's like, yo, the reality is that's not it. Like not everything's good. That's where it becomes toxic. And I feel like as a society we're slowly getting there. I didn't like the fact that Donald Trump was getting banned and cancelled. I don't like this cancel culture personally. I think that there's certain things that we don't need to judge. You know, that judge that there should be qualified people or powers that be that you know offer that judgment, because it's just not for the everyday people, because you're going to make some mad decisions. And I feel like you always need to look at both sides, and if you don't, you're just, it's almost narcissistic to a certain extent. You don't you can't just live your life in that way, man. So yeah, for me, I'll pick a place where there's have I answered it right? Have I answered it right? No crime, no privacy. Yeah, I'd rather there be crime. There's no crime. Have I answered the question correctly?
No, didn't you say so you have a choice between privacy and crime?
I said,
No privacy and no crime. Was that a question?
So would you rather live in a world where there is no crime or no privacy? So it's like there's crime, but there's no privacy. Or there's privacy. there's privacy. There's privacy. I lost it. This is kicked in. That's a hot seat question for today, guys. We answered.
We baffled ourselves.
We've absolutely lost the plot today.
Happens in too much for an hour.
That's a mad one. I don't know that. I promise you, I'm sober. Just a bit tired. Yeah. But yeah, just kind of wrapping it up, man. Cancel culture is is having a big effect on today's society. I hate to see people cancelled, especially the wrong way. I don't want to see Kevin Hart getting cancelled for a tweet that he sent 20 years ago and he's already apologized for it. That doesn't make any sense. I don't want to see someone getting cancelled because they're giving their opinion about something. I don't want to see Kanye West getting cancelled because he said that he's not focusing on NFTs, he's focusing on better stuff. You know, he has his reasons, and just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean that they can't coexist with you in the same place or you can't be associated with them. And I think that's the main thing to take away from the from this council culture thing. Like, you can't just write somebody off, man. You know, people, you should always try to offer a route back for certain people, but there has to be steps for them to get to that place before they can start taking those steps back into whether it's your life, society, whatever it is. There needs to be a process, an education process that allows them to be able to change their behavior and offer their way back in. And it's the same thing for any victims of people who are affected by any crimes that this person has done. They need to also be rehabilitated as well and kind of go in and, um, be looked after and come back and to be that person of strength, of confidence, or whatever it might be. So, yeah, man, that's my take on this cancel culture.
That's what I put. I couldn't have said it better, to be fair.
So,
it's a nice way to conclude the council culture episode.
Yeah, man. And stay tuned for that NFT episode, man, coming up. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that one next week for you guys. So, yeah, man, I go by the name Julian Green. Thanks for listening to the Social Living Podcast. My co-host Jam Lawrence. It's been a pleasure. We out.